right, baby. We are live. Got it. Okay. Just get my game day ready here. You ready for today? Oh, man, I can't wait with the hat. I thought you threw it away.
I got two.
Yeah, bull crap. You threw one away. You threw that away. Man.
I have a winter one and I have a summer one.
All right, well, let's get ready. Welcome to Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Sector, live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Two Jersey boys from Amboy. We are excited about today. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please remember we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube with notifications for the Jersey Boys. We got a lot of things we're going to talk about. I'm sure Byron is getting ready because I'm excited about today. Today is March 31st, 2022. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Spotify. The Jersey Boys Sportscast is brought to you by our Sports Talk is brought to you by the Sportscast. Remember, we also have a Jersey Boys podcast. It's on iTunes. You're going to see what you see right there. Click on that. Please subscribe. Leave us a review. It helps us out quite a bit, especially to our friends, and pass it along. And we're going to go from there. We are okay. So today, so far, they ain't got no guests coming in yet. So we're good. But I have a few pieces to say to the joke, Mr. Joe Caparo. All righty. So let's get going. I want to get right into the show. Mr. Byron, welcome again. I see that you got I was saying before, last week was the first time I've ever seen you with a shirt that did not have like an imprint on it. So you got Batman and you got your fake throwaway Bruce Arians shirt hat on. So
it's like a throwaway gun.
Yeah. What's the throw? You went back in the garbage can to find it? Is that what happened?
I keep telling you I have two, summer one and a winter one.
I do not believe you.
Yes, I do, though.
You're denying, and deflecting.
No, this time I really do. I have a winter and summer.
If you say so. Okay, I'm downloading some of the stuff you get. Okay, so look, we're going to get into, I want to get into the Arians piece, right? So that's number one. Number two, not right now. We're going to stick to our format. We're going to talk about NFC East, and you did some good work. So with what you got here. So I want to download it. Number one, we're going to talk about Bruce Arians. But let me ask you a question, Byron. So and I'm not getting into politics. I just want to make a comment, right? So I don't think that's on a topic we need to discuss here. So one, how in some of the news stations, right? Like Fox, for example, is predominantly pro-Republican, and CNBC is predominantly pro-Democrat, right? So is there like sports shows that are like, in that same kind of like one way? Because I wish Joe Capra was on this show right now because I'm about to eat him up, okay? Because I am telling you that we'll have our debates, and I love debating with Joe. And by the way, Joe, I always want to give a shout out to Joe and his show. Joe is the host of, let me get it here. What's his name of his show, Byron? Do you remember again? Oh, this is the wrong one.
Sports something.
Sports. Here, I'll get to you right now. Sports Plus Talk.
There you go.
Sports Plus show. So I don't have all his dates and stuff, but I just wanted to pull up all your pieces here. So I got a New York Giants depth chart. I got the mock drafts. I got the NFC offensive groups. Okay, we'll bring that up a little bit. So my only reason I'm saying to you is, and I have a clip that I wanted to, oh man, I messed it up. Shoot. All right, so the reason why I'm saying that is because, Byron, I work and, I like, if I'm not on phone calls or I'm not doing stuff, I'm working. And even when I'm on phone calls, the TV's on just to keep active, right? I work out of my house or, unless I'm on the road going to a client or have a networking event. So I always listen to Get Up and First Take in the morning, all the time. Those are two shows that I listen to, unless there's something else. Those are my shows, right? And so, so when I'm debating with some of our guests and so forth, and I've even told you some things you said. I've called you up, right? And I said, Byron, you just said the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand sometimes Joe's arguments, because it's almost like they just had not today, but yesterday they were discussing the challenges of replacing a Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Okay. And how, they were like, hey, let's not forget, Tyreek Hill bailed out Mahomes a lot of times. You just can't replace a player. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't know he runs under a 440.
Yeah. He's one of the fastest in the NFL.
Under 440. So I'm like, they're all talking about how difficult it is. And, they did, to Joe's defense and yours as well, talk about the decision. A lot of it they would like to, but it's salary cap, right?
Yes.
So
yep.
There's no confusion. That the debate on that was true and legitimate, and I'm okay with that. We were just purely saying, Joe just felt it wasn't that difficult. It was like nothing to replace it to Hill. Right? I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? The guy can catch and run. It's not Everett Ingram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember Nehemiah, whatever his name is, the track guy who played for
He's a Jersey guy. Ronaldo Nehemiah, Jersey guy.
Yeah, I liked him, but his brother can't play football.
Well, he almost got killed when he went across the field, the middle of the field. He got blown up. So
because you can run, don't mean you can play, right? So Tyreek Hill's made some good plays. So I'm like listening to that. I'm like, okay, how is that same argument? And then the week before that, we talked about Brady's Twitter tweet. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But I'm just saying, I started laughing outside of Santiago, our producer, was like, and there's sports shows that are like the CNBC and the Foxes, that are total opposite, because these guys are pretty much saying exactly what we were talking about, or what I was saying, that Tyreek Hill ain't easy to replace. I mean, you said it, that they had to design defenses to make sure you don't let him beat you.
Yep.
It's not like you do that with every receiver in the league.
I'm sure it's a lot of receivers they do that.
Yeah, but he predominantly, they could come back and lightning quick because of his ability to get downfield and come back to breaking plays, right? So, Marcus Spears, all these guys were talking about it. Now they're talking about what they're going to do to replace. And to the defense that you and him were making, yes, it's all about salary cap. I just said that the issue of the talent is the talent, right? It's not easy to replace a guy like that. Sorry. So, but I'm like, what am I missing? What are these guys listening to? So, all right, let's get into the Giants. So you gave me an updated depth chart, right?
Yeah, because they signed one more guy.
All right, so let's put it here. We got it here. So we got it here. Let's just go to the guy that they signed, and then I'm gonna share the screen. So I still have it queued up. Oh, hold on, we're gonna get to good. I still got the irreplaceable get up speed on Tyreek Hill, so Joe can listen to this later if he's not listening now. Can you see that, Byron?
Yes, I can.
All right. So where is the guy?
Left guard, Max Garcia.
Hold on, let me get to the Sportscast show here. Max Garcia, what? Left what?
Left guard and center.
Oh, I see it. Okay. So you're not putting them in any order right now, is that correct?
No order. But if they had to go to battle right now, that's a pretty bad line.
Okay. If they had it's a bad line
right now, the way it looks,
bad in bad or bad in good.
Bad is not as bad as last year, but still bad.
But why? Last week, the left side was the only thing we were working on. I know was it the left side? No, the left side was strong. The right side was.
If I'm just saying, these guys like the left guard, Bretterson. He was hurt a lot last year. Lemieux is coming back from a knee injury. Andrew Thomas, he had surgeries on his ankle again. The right tackle, Matt Pert, tore his ACL, toward the end of the year. So they sign a lot of bodies because they need a lot of bodies.
They also probably signing a lot of bodies. They need them, and they got to compete, right? I mean,
Yes,
they got
that's why they're signing all these guys. You know,
these
they can
guys
go.
they got to step up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can, and they will. But you see, the big hole they have is going to be. I think they're going to address right tackle.
They're going to draft a right tackle. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so of the depth chart right now, the only one we added was Max Garcia. Where was Max Garcia from? So this is left.
He came from Arizona Cardinals.
Right, so if you were to if you had to start the lineup for the Giants, what would you start? Who would you start at center?
Feliciano.
John Feliciano at center. That's the guy who was a green. Let's go to the right. Who would you start at right guard?
Gowinski.
That's a yellow, no?
Yes.
Okay. Right tackle.
You'd have to go with Matt Gano right now, but they're going to replace him in the draft.
All right, he's a yellow. I remember that. And then our tight ends, right? At tight end, Ricky Seals
Jones. Yep.
He's a green, no?
He's a starter.
Okay, good. On left guard, what did you have there? Who would you start?
We'd have to go with this guy for now, Ben Bredesen. They got him from Baltimore Ravens last year.
Left guard, Ben Bredesen. For those that are listening, they can't hear, they can't see. And then left tackle, definitely Andrew Thomas.
Definitely right? Andrew Thomas. And then I split up the wide receivers this week.
Yeah, I see. All right. Let's go. Insert. Okay. When you say you split up the receiver, yeah, because you had a bigger list.
Well, you have the receivers on the other side of right tackle and tight end.
Oh, okay. So you have the wide receivers on one side. You got the tight end.
There you go.
And you got the tight ends ahead. Why do you have them on left and right side?
Because I split up the receivers. Because before I put all the receivers on the one side, so I figured receiver number one, receiver number two.
So okay, but wait a second. We still got a lot of receivers that are cut.
Yeah, a lot of them getting cut.
You know, it makes sense to keep them under one though, because it doesn't matter if they're left or right.
Receiver, I just want to see.
I can see if there were slot receivers versus.
Oh, then the guy Richie, then all the way to the other side, Richie James. They just signed him from San Francisco. He's a returner, and he could be the surprise of the receiving group too. He's pretty good, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, we need
Richie James.
We need Kadarius Toney to break out.
We'll see if what's more important is rap career or playing football.
All right, well, that's a started for our thing. I don't go too much depth into this, but all right. So we're building there, but we still need help. The comparison, if we get a chance, is don't do the whole thing because it's a pain. Like who are the NFC teams? What are their offenses looking like? Because that's who we play the most, right? So what are their offensive lines look like? I just want to go line to line, right?
Did I put that on there too?
Where?
On the bottom, or either the other thing I sent you.
Yeah, that's probably on the. You got it on offenses. Okay, we're gonna look at it next. Okay, good. All right, so all right, that's good. That's our depth chart, and then so from there, okay, so then from there, we're gonna go right from there. Then we should just go into
comparisons.
Into the NFC offense, right?
Or draft, or either, or it doesn't matter.
Let's go to the NFC offenses because I think that'll give me what I was asking for. All righty, so
there you go on the bottom. NFC. Well, and we could do running backs together because I forgot to put that one on there.
All right, no worries. I ain't moving. Okay. So let's go here. We're at home. Insert to close. All right. So we're in the mock draft, right? No.
The
NFC offense.
Keep going. That right there. NFC quarterback rankings right now.
Man, oh my God. Okay, so you got Dallas Cowboys, obviously Dak Prescott. I would agree is number one.
I'd be a giant fan to put Daniel Jones number two.
I would put Jalen Hurts over Daniel Jones. And I would only. Okay, so what we got for you listeners is we got Dallas Cowboys, We got obviously Dak Prescott. This is a QB ranking NFC East. Dak Prescott, he has Daniel Jones 2, Jalen Hurts 3, and Carson Wentz number 4. I would probably switch Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts. I'd have Daniel Jones at 3 and Jalen Hurts as number 2. And Carson Wentz is just he's just
He's a man.
He's got talent, but he's just
he's a little soft in the locker room. That's his problem.
Something's wrong with that. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm surprised you don't have Daniel Jones as number 1. All right, so wide receivers and tight ends. Yep, Cowboys again, number 1. You got the Eagles. Okay, that's pretty funny. You got Giants and last in wide receivers and tight ends.
And you want to know why? Because they're always hurt.
You got the quarterback number 2.
Yes. Because that's just because I believe in Daniel Jones. That's why I put him number 2.
My man, you got something.
And the Giants receivers would be up higher if they weren't hurt all the time. All of them.
I think you got a man crush on Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Okay.
So your receivers and tight ends are pretty much close to what I would pick. I would give Daniel Jones overall, but with a 4th receiving crew. But that receiving crew, like you said, if they're not hurt, they would be at least number 3, which would rank into where I'm talking about. Daniel Jones would be 3rd quarterback ranked, but that's our difference there. Offensive lines. Wow. So Philly's line's better than the Cowboys?
Yes.
Really?
You got Lane Johnson, right tackle, all pro. Kelsey is very good. Jason Kelsey, his brother. Jason.
Oh, really? Okay,
yes.
That's right. I thought that guy was like retiring. I thought he had like 100.
No, he was going to retire, and he signed for 1 more year.
Oh, because I remember they put him in just to start, and then they took him right out.
He
broke a record or something.
He for most games played or whatever. And then Dickerson, the kid.
Most games started.
Then they have Dickerson, the kid from Alabama, the one that hurt his knee in the championship. Well, before the championship game, he's one of the guards. And then they got the biggest left tackle probably in the league. This kid, Mamea, whatever his name is. The kid, he's like 6'9", like 350, and he was a rugby. I think he was a rugby player in Australia, and he was a 7th round pick. And now he's one of the premier left tackles and all of. He is huge.
He's Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian, and he is.
I don't think there ain't too many Aussies in the league. I don't think
there's a couple, but he's a big one.
That's a big guy. Okay, so see, now look, for me, logically, this don't make any sense, right? Because again, how do you have the quarterback number 2 with the worst receiving group and the worst offensive line?
Well, how does you always?
It's impossible.
It's not impossible. Daniel Jones, what I keep telling you, Daniel Jones is going to be a star. I keep telling you that. They're going to fix all this other stuff.
I get it, but just on paper,
I'm going to stick with my guns.
The offensive line ranking, I can't really comment on it other than the fact that I know that the Giants are the worst, right? I would assume the Cowboys was a little better than number 2, but okay, number 2 isn't bad, right?
And you figure the Cowboys lost a lot of guys. The right tackle, Collins. I think they lost a guard. They still have, Tyron Smith. They still have the other all-pro, Zach Martin. They still have him, and the centers. But, they got like half a line is good, but the other side, no.
Got it. So
this is bad, even worse than ours.
Well, then I guess the Eagles rise because they get this 7th-round player that now can be a premier tackle, right? That's pretty good.
You look at
if you get a 7th-round tackle that's becoming really good, that was a good pick.
Well, put it this way, he was so good. He was good enough that he beat out the 1st-round pick that they have. They've had. I forgot what the kid's name. Like about 3 or 4 years ago, he was the 1st-round pick, the left tackle, and this guy beat him out for the job, and now this guy's going to be looking for a job or whatever.
That's amazing.
He's good.
That's awesome. Okay, so
and then we need here. This is where you need to get the typing. We need to put in the running backs.
Now I got to get the typing. Right.
Yeah, get the typing. NFC East. There you go. Yeah, copy and paste.
Exactly.
Change that to the running backs.
Oh my God, what did I do?
Oh no, you fat fingered everything like usual.
Yeah. Okay, I'm typing running backs ranking. All right.
Right.
All right. So
Number one, the Dallas Cowboys.
yeah, you do things a little bit different than I do.
Not true?
No, it's not that. It's that you like typing, and when you just do that.
No,
Okay, the Cowboys, I would agree.
Because they got Pollard and Zeke.
That's the reason I was going to say it wasn't just because of Zeke. It's because they got Pollard in addition. All right, number two. Number two.
Eagles, because Miles Sanders and the group of running backs they have. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Howard. They got three good ones.
He's gonna tell you that this I'm still totally it makes no sense. You haven't done
Here we go.
All right, number three's got to be Washington.
Because they got Antonio Gibson, they got a good running back, but we still have Saquon. I'm gonna put the Giants 3.
Yeah, I like Saquon, man. If he could stay
Healthy.
I'd like to see him have a full season, man.
We'll put the Washington Commanders there, because we can.
Because they're the only ones left.
I know.
All right. So, all right. I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm just telling you right now that the only thing that can help you save grace on that pick of Daniel Jones is if those other areas of the offensive line come to play. All right. So
how's it go? I'm projecting what he's going to be like, and he's going to be a lot better. The line is a work in progress. The receiver's can't be hurt all the time, and Saquon, same thing with him. He can't be hurt, and he has to perform.
Right.
Projection for Daniel.
But just theoretically, let's say it stinks going into the season and say, hell, but they don't get hurt. Unfortunately, it's terrible, right? So if the receiving core of the Giants, let's say they're healthy all year long, would you still rank them 4?
No, we're gonna move them up then because on paper I would move them all the way up to 2.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, and then if Zeke is healthy, well, if Zeke is healthy, he's playing up there. He's going to be up there between at least number 2. Okay, what's this mock draft pick compared to the draft pick you have later?
This is I just split it up, because I know we got like Jet fans, and
so this is the first round.
Yes, it's the first round.
All right, so we're looking at this Mississippi State guy. Okay, I like him.
Yes.
Trayvon at number 7. That's if they don't mess around with my picks. So look at this is 4, 5, 7, 10, 11. Let me tell you, the NFC East got a lot of first round picks, man.
And if you notice, I'm sure Santiago, I put like the Cowboys, not the Cowboys, I mean the Eagles picking 2 corners because usually the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to, one of those 3 first round picks, they're going to trade one of those picks before, either during the draft or after. So they're going to draft a corner, but I just put that on there, because they're going to, they're going to trade one of those picks. And then that's the guard there that he can play either guard or tackle for the Cowboys, Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. And I figured since he's a Texas guy that if he's available, that, what's his name, Jerry Jones is going to, snag this guy up.
Well, let me tell you, that's 7 first round picks for the NFC East. That's pretty good. That's also how bad we did. All right. Well, let's see what happens. I just want, we got to get that line. We got to get that line. I mean, that's the bottom line. Bottom line is the line. All righty. And then
how long have I been telling you that?
For the last 2 years.
Okay, I was just checking.
And you remind me every week.
Yes, and I'm going to keep doing it too.
So don't say you're just checking. You want to hear it again. Say,
okay, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I just want to hear it again. I just want to hear it. All right, so what we got here. All right, so we got the mock draft. This is the order you feel they're going to go. Interesting. Yep. So I just want to see because I don't want to go through all this. For those that can't see it, we got a mock draft. He has. I just want to see who's going. Interesting, what's going to happen this year, right? So we got an edge rusher. So defense, edge rusher, offense. Oh, this kid from Liberty. Oh, that's the guy Malik Willis.
Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't that the guy that Caparo said that we should probably get if we can get him?
Yep.
Out of Liberty, okay, and then you got so that's one quarterback, okay. All right, we got another quarterback there.
Kenny Pickett, he's a Jersey kid, Ocean Township.
Okay, good. Let's go, good Kenny Pickett, and he goes to Pittsburgh. Who just went to Pittsburgh though? Oh, it was the Flores, it was coach. Okay, cornerback, tip, wide receiver. All right, Florida State. Okay,
there goes another one of your Georgia guys.
Georgia boy, LSU, Utah,
Georgia guy.
Georgia, Ohio, Clemson, receiver. Wow, not a lot of quarterbacks in this year's pick.
Keep all the way to the bottom, number 32.
There's only what? There's one. Only I think you got three.
Yep.
2, 3. That's low for compared to what it's been in the last few years. No.
This year, like they've been saying, this year is not a good year for quarterback. It's next year that all them quarterbacks that they're screaming about. But the number one pick for next year, I'm going to already say it now, is going to be Will Anderson, linebacker from Alabama.
Will Anderson. Why is that? But the name sounds familiar, just in general.
He's a beast, man. He's the best. He might even win the Heisman. I may even predict him to win the Heisman as a linebacker. He's that good.
Yeah, I think
he's that good. Look him up.
I believe you, but I'm just saying it ain't gonna happen just because when's the last time a defensive player won?
Charles was a Woodson, I think.
Yeah. Was it Woodson? Yeah.
Well, this kid
yeah,
is
Woodson. But it was also Woodson was also a multi-purpose player too, right?
Yeah, well, they robbed Peyton Manning that year.
They robbed.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was up too.
Okay, good. I just checking my piece what we have here. All right. Well, that looks pretty good. We'll see how it goes. But for those of you that are listening or you're watching here, make sure you get on YouTube so you can see the screen and you can see some of the mock draft Byron put together, and that may help you in your fantasy leagues. All righty. So now I just want to hold on a second. I want to just see if I got to hit share, and then I want to hit sound, and then let me know if you could hear this, okay? All right, tell me if you can hear this.
Be good. The middle of that field was so wide open.
Can you hear it?
Travis
Yeah.
Could take the top off, and people were terrified of him getting the ball in his hands. Please let Valdez, Scanlon, and Juju help in that regard, so we can still have a explosive offense. And Patrick can sometimes go YOLO and just throw that thing anywhere, and one of these dudes make a play. Please, Lord.
So that's what he's saying that Andy Reid is saying with the loss of Tyreek Hill, that Tyreek Hill, by spreading out, helped Kelsey, right? And it goes back to what I was saying. It's you can't think you just replace a guy like a Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry, you're not going to do it. I think eventually, can you adjust your offense and get some speedster and so forth? But come on, Byron. You the guy produced, right? I mean, you can't. He produced.
He produced, which led him to get paid. And Kansas City determined, felt they couldn't pay him and Patrick. So that's what happens now with the salary cap.
No, they did say that, but the argument was you can't just, you could replace his production. I guess my piece was there. All righty. So now, any news? Dallas has been quiet. So did I think Jerry Jones settled his suit. He gave his kid some money.
What, the baby mama?
The girl.
I don't know.
Not the baby mama, the baby mama's daughter.
No, I didn't hear anything up here.
It's kind of quiet.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Kind of quiet. So
I wonder why.
Quiet. Yeah, everything's quiet in Dallas. And usually when everything's quiet in Dallas, that I think usually there's an issue.
Well, put it this way: if Skip Bayless is not blasting it all over the TV when he's on every day, then yeah, it's pretty quiet because he knows everything.
Yeah. So
Dallas related.
I just think I think Jerry, because Jerry likes to be, some of the reasons why about Dallas, besides because of its past history and so forth. But, Jerry is, they said it, he's the ultimate businessman marketer. So he likes being in the news. He likes making sure the Dallas Cowboys are always in the news. But I think that his being quiet is just trying to keep things off of his personal piece, right? He's trying to stay away from that. And I think they got a lot of issues. They got more issues than people know about.
Well, you see, they passed on signing Bobby Wagner, the linebacker from Seattle Seahawks. And he ended up signing with the Rams. The Rams said $65 million, 5 years.
How did where are Rams finding money to keep signing someone that big? Like, didn't they just blow all their money? I thought they have no picks until 2022, right?
Oh well,
until after 2022, and then how do they get the money to sign a guy like that? So that's interesting.
Because they don't have to worry about playing Von Miller. He left. That's Von Miller money.
Got you. And then any happening with Philly? Philly.
No, it's all good in Philly. Basketball season. Around here, and football. And, they're starting to heat up with the draft around here. So they're not hot on getting rid of Jalen Hurts. That's the one thing right here.
All right. I think he deserves a shot. I think he's done pretty well while he was there.
He was in the Pro Bowl last year.
Oh, then shoot. And then how about our Commanders?
Nothing.
All right, so NFC East globally is pretty quiet. Like, we're used to our teams being quiet. I'm just not used to Dallas being quiet. All right, so that's finishing there. So now let's get to the big news, baby. Let's get to the big news. Look, when Brady retired, you guys gave me a lot of crap, right? Or when he unretired.
I gotta take my hat off for this one.
When Brady unretired, one of the comments I made 2 weeks ago was the only thing that's confusing to me is that they were saying how the relationship between him and Arians had soured. Remember? And I was saying because the report was that, Arians was icing his Achilles or something to that degree, and Leftwich and Brady were game planning, and then Arians would just come in and redline everything, right?
He's being a CEO, but God.
Okay, yeah, that was your whole argument. He's CEO. Well, we saw how far that CEO goes. And then, right, so I can see, that bothering a guy that's a worker like Brady. I can see that bothering a Byron Leftwich. I mean, he's your offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like, Byron's good. So that was a discussion. So I just, you don't hear that part. So I'm just, to say that statement and then come back. So, man, when I woke up this morning and I said Bruce Arians is leaving the position as the head coach, and I'm happy for Bowles, right? Tom Bowles, right? Bowles, and I was like,
Jersey guy from Elizabeth.
Man, I am not surprised in that move. I'm not surprised. And I'm telling you, I don't think Brady dictated it. But I'm telling you, he has some kind of something.
No, he didn't.
In there.
No,
I'm just telling you, that's my opinion. Because to make that tweet and then now have the defensive coordinator who is really good. Do you agree? Because we like both of them. I would have taken either one of those guys from the Giants. Right. And I would have taken, and the other thing is Leftwich didn't even want to deal with his own Jaguars. Right. But I think they knew something was coming. And I think when they figured out they were going to bring him back, they made a decision to say Leftwich. I bet you Leftwich had something to say. And Bowles. So, hey, I'm happy for Bowles because now we got
New Jersey guy from Elizabeth.
We got a minority head coach with the most minority assistant coaches in the league. Now it starts, right? If that organization, something doesn't happen from that tree, right? There's a problem because it's one thing coach is a minority head coach, but he doesn't have as many minority assistant coaches, right? Now you got the minority head coach with a lot of minority coaches, including women, right? And I think it's a good thing. And and again, here's my other argument to Caparo when he comes back on is that's exactly the perfect example of why I think it makes a difference depending on the type of team and who you have, that the fact that Bowles is a defensive coordinator who's now the head coach, right? And Leftwich is still the offensive. They went 13-4 and they put up numbers. And he put up numbers with Winston. So it wasn't like, he may have threw in interceptions, but he put up 30 touchdowns. Okay. Now Leftwich and Brady are going to be left to their own to do their game plan. Why? Because it's harder to make decisions inside or have too much of an opinion on the offensive side if you're a defensive coach. That's why, to me, it does make a difference based on your team. So go ahead.
You want me to break it down to you? Here, let me break this down to you. I'm going to do one of your numbers. Number one.
CEO's out, right?
No. Let me finish. I'm going to cover that too. Number one. Back in the day in the 50s, you're a young buck. When the Giants had the head coach was his name, Jim Lee Howe that was the head coach. You know who was on his staff?
Arians?
No. Tom Landry and Vince Lombardi. Tom Landry was in charge, I think, the defense.
That's right.
Vince
they came to the
No, don't interrupt now.
All right.
You had those two guys were on his staff. What do you think Jim Lee Howe did all week long? He let them put in the game plans, right? So what's wrong with the guy being the overall CEO of the team? And as long as he has a good offensive coordinator and a good defensive coordinator, then everything is all good. It's all good.
Okay, I agree with that.
All great coaches are like that. Barry Switzer.
Like time out, but what you're not saying is what the topic was. This guy let his people do his stuff and he oversaw it, made sure it was running smooth.
And I'm sure he did.
And he had two Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah.
And, obviously there wasn't much media back there. But what you're not saying is, and nobody, back then it was really such a tight-knit NFL that nothing leaked. But, you gotta give me the comparison for the argument has to be that he still would redline Landry and
that's what they're supposed to. That's what he's supposed to do as a head coach. That's his job.
Not
if he doesn't like it. If he
not to the point that it bothers your superstar player and your offensive coordinator. I mean, I think there's a point.
Put it this way.
Now it's like Jerry Jones. You're too meddlesome.
If it bothered them that much, Leftwich could have taken a job with the Jaguars, and Tom Brady could have stayed home if they knew Bruce Arians was still going to be there. That solves the whole problem. If they were that upset, he could have took the job with Jaguars, and the other guy could have stayed home instead of retiring after 40 days.
All right, but I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead. But that's my whole argument. But go ahead. What's number two?
And then number two, the reason why Arians did what he did, he chose to focus on how. Here, this is what Bruce Arians did. He wanted succession as far as who was going to be the next coach. He felt that Todd Bowles, that's his guy, all the way back when he coached him in Temple. He's known this guy from when he was a high school coming, college guy. He's known him that long. He wanted Todd Bowles to be in a position to succeed on this team, not leave this team and go to some crappy team, some awful team. He wanted all the pieces were in place for him to succeed in Tampa Bay. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's why he left. You can go ahead now. I'm better now.
I'm almost making sure. I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to go back to, that I am telling you that the report was that it bothered Brady. It's just Leftwich as coaches. They're not going to be vocal about it, especially when they still working for that boss. Brady has the ability to say whatever he wants. He also said a lot of nice things about Arians as he left in Brady stop, right? Okay, but it bothered him, right? And that was one of the reasons maybe, the hell with this. I'm not gonna bust, I'm outworking the coach, right? And that's where they're trying to put the comparisons between him being a little bit loose and Brady being more disciplinary. I mean, think about it. You heard the stories. Arians was letting Brady take, not even practicing, letting him watch the team couldn't do some coaching.
Well, and what's wrong with that? He's a 45-year-old quarterback. He doesn't need all the reps.
There's nothing. Why do you think I'm making a statement has anything to do wrong with that? I'm saying to you that there is respect there enough to be able to let him do some of that. But then there's got to be a point when you and Leftwich are putting up numbers and doing your stuff, and you're there icing your Achilles heel, and they want to come in and just, they're putting in all this work and just over redlining it. It bothered them, and I'm telling you that there is something there.
What's wrong with him? He's the head coach. He's the head coach. He's the head coach. He's supposed to oversee all this stuff.
Bottom line is Tom Brady back?
Of course.
Okay. Is the CEO out?
By his choice.
That's not what I asked.
I'm just saying that's my answer. He chose to step down.
Brady's choice was to come back too. Is Brady back? Yes. Is the CEO that you said is not out? Yes. Was Brady the one complaining about that CEO about how he was messing with him and Leftowich's piece? Yes. And I believe Bowles and Leftwich get along very well.
How many let me tell you something about this here. Okay. When you're the defensive coordinator, you don't really mess with the offense. You really don't interact with those guys over there. You have your own separate meetings, your own separate, your own separate thing going on. You don't have a clue what what's going on over there until you go out on a practice field. So the only reason Todd Bowles really interacted with Tom Brady is because when he was the head coach of the Jets, and he had the game plan for this guy. That's probably really the only time he really had. Oh, Tom Brady, I got to do this, I got to do that. But you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
I'm just telling you that they are going to light. I told you they're going to win the NFC East. The NFC West South when he came back, and now they are going to light it up. Because
how do you figure that? How do you figure that?
Because I think now it's going to be Leftwich and Brady.
They lost
their game.
They lost both of their guards. The only guy they re-signed was the center, Jensen. They signed him. They have the right tackle, Wirtz, the left tackle. But where does Tom Brady have most of the problems? Where's most of his problems at?
Up the middle.
Guess what's the weakest part of the line right now?
The guards.
They're not going to light it up the way you think.
Okay, we'll see. Right, I'm writing that down. I'm gonna light it up. I'm gonna light it up. They're gonna light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. They got Godwin back. They got this. Gronk is gonna resign. I'm telling you, he's gonna draw more players to him again.
Nah.
And I'm telling you, people are gonna want to play for Bowles.
What was Bowles' record? What was Bowles' record with the Jets?
It's the Jets.
I'm just asking you a question. What was it? He's still. I'm not. I want to see the guy to succeed. He was 24-40 with the New York Jets.
Okay, it's the Jets.
And then he goes to Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians, and he has resurrected his career being the defensive genius now. Mm-hmm. And Bruce Arians stepped aside to take a front office job to make sure that Todd Bowles gets a good team. That's what he did.
Okay, so Todd Bowles has a good team, right? Number one, he has a really good offensive coordinator, right? With a Hall of Fame quarterback. So all I'm saying to you is, I am telling you, they're in position. I still think they should have beat the thing. Okay.
Have they replaced Sue? They haven't replaced the guys on defense. Jason Pierre-Paul is still a free agent.
I guarantee he resigns now.
Nah.
Yeah, he's gonna resign.
He wants to get
especially if his head coach is defensive coordinator. He's gonna resign.
Nah.
We'll see. Hey, okay. What was Rex Ryan's record with the Jets?
Offhand, I don't know. What was it?
46-50.
was better than 24-40.
Still a losing record, bro. I don't care how you look at it. It's still a losing record. Okay, 26 is less games. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna put it out there like this.
I'm telling you, Arians had to go.
No, he didn't. Bruce Arians has always been an advocate for the African American coaches in the league since he's in the NFL and college.
I'm not denying that.
And he's always been an advocate, as far as with the staffs he's always had. And I'm thinking he's 69 years old. He's probably he says he's in good health. I want to be in good health. Huh?
How old is he?
69.
69 with the 6?
6'9".
No way.
Yeah, Bruce Arians is 69 years old.
No, that I know. I thought you said how old is Bowles?
Who? Bowles is like 50, so like 58.
I thought you said. I was saying.
Yeah, he's in his 50s. Bowles. But I'm just saying he's always been an advocate, and there's nothing wrong with what he did, as far as stepping aside or whatever you want to call it, to make sure that Todd Bowles succeed in his second go round with a head coaching gig. That's what he did, and that's what I'm going to stick with.
All questions behind Bruce Arians retire as Tampa Bay coach in favor of Todd Bowles. And one of the questions is, did Brady have any? The questions are up there. Tom Brady just unretired. So how does that factor in? I mean, think about it. Why would a guy unretire and then lose and be okay with losing the head coach? I mean, I'm just saying that doesn't happen. I mean, I guarantee you that Aaron Rodgers is pissed off because Devontae left, but he screwed him.
Tom Brady has a lot of juice. I don't think he got that kind of juice.
I don't think he has. I think he's got juice. I don't think he has. I don't think he has the juice to have the overall factor in that was it. But I think that in that decision, he was a component of that decision.
And the other thing about Tampa Bay, the ownership with them, they've hired more African-American head coaches than anybody in the league. Head coaches. Yeah, who do they have? They had Tony Dungy, right? They had Lovie Smith. Now they got Todd Bowles, and I think it was somebody else that beat like 4 of them. Was it Rasheed Morris? Was temporary coach, I think. But they're not the kind of team that does stuff like that. Well, the ownership, the Glazers. So you can go ahead with your theory that Tom Brady has something to do. He's not Michael Jordan, comes personnel decisions.
What are you talking about? Michael Jordan he couldn't keep Phil Jackson.
A lot of those guys that were surrounding Michael Jordan, I'm sure he had a lot to say about.
He didn't keep Phil Jackson. He didn't get Pippen paid.
And what happened with Phil Jackson though? He left, right? He left on his own. Right?
No.
Oh, yes, he did. He didn't get fired. He left on his own.
No. Yeah. No.
Him and Jerry Krause. Was it Krause? Him and Jerry Krause
told him this is your last year. That's it.
Okay.
So he got fired. On his own. He got fired.
Well, Bruce Arians left on his own.
I understand that. But I think, okay, well, I'm just, ironically, my conversation 2 weeks ago was all about the fact that Brady didn't like how much Leftwich and him put in work in the game plan, and Arians would come in after coming out of a friggin' ice tub to then change all of that stuff. I think that somewhere along the line, there was a factor in there. Arians is talking about, hey, it made it easier for him to retire when Brady came back because it's leaving the team in a lot better position.
And what was the other thing he said? You're leaving stuff out now. What was the other thing he said?
And something about Bowles.
Yeah, that he's leaving.
Or Bowles.
He wants Bowles to succeed on a good team. He doesn't want him to leave and go to a crappy team and not succeed. That's what. That's the just.
I'm with you on all of that. I'm not denying that piece.
And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it.
Of 100%, right? There's a point from 1% all the way to 100. Okay, are you telling me there's not any percentage points of Arians retiring right? And Brady unretired.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
All right.
Dude, he's going to be in the front office. He's still going to be there.
I understand.
It's not like he's retiring from coaching. He's going to be in the front office. He's still going to be there.
He's going to be just a picture of he's won a Super Bowl. He's done a great job for Tampa. He's going to be there, but he's just going to be, his title is going to be title of whatever.
You know what he's going to be like? Bill Parcells. What did Parcells do? He left the team and then he went and just sat there and behind the curtain.
I don't know, but I'm happy.
I don't know why that wasn't right.
I'm happy. I am happy, bro. You threw the hat away. You
I got
lost
my
respect
hat
for him.
I told you I got two, man. I'm good, man.
You threw the hat away because you lost respect for Arians. So
I think he did. I love the things that Bruce Arians has done, in the NFL. Every place he's been, he's been a winner.
I'm telling you, the reason why I'm happy is because I wanted some closure to how do you go back to the team when you also complained about what was happening when you were planning with your offensive coordinator and you were upset with that relationship with Bruce Arians, and that never came to light. That's it. So now
you don't think
alone because I couldn't argue that.
You don't think
Arians retires? I'm like,
Yeah, you don't think.
Hold on. The other reason I'm happy is because I like Bowles. I think that's a good choice. I think I am telling you now, Leftwich will be a head coach after this season.
Where?
I don't care. I don't know. Don't matter.
Yeah, he's going to, what he's going to He's going to end up a crappy team like they all do. That's what happened.
I understand that, bro, but I can't control that piece, right? I'm just saying to you that Leftwich is going to be a head coach.
Yeah, right? Of course he's going to be, yes. Yeah, without a doubt, he's going to be a coach.
And they're going to light it up. This is like almost to the degree of, when Peyton was coming to the line, just calling plays, going down the field. He was literally calling all his plays.
Okay, all right. Here, fast forward. When Brady was with the Patriots, do you think he complained like this and did the same thing with Belichick and Josh McDaniels?
I don't think so, but I also know that Belichick wasn't really off. He's not an offensive coach. He's a defensive coach.
But you don't think he had some input on what was going on with the offense?
He's a head coach. You're going to have input, but
Belichick. There you go. I got back to where we were. You just said it right there.
God. So it's totally
yes, you did. Woo! Yes, you did.
There is a total difference.
What's the total?
Having input and micromanaging. For Brady to be upset to what he did, Arians had to be micromanaging the plan that Leftwich and him were putting together.
And that's his job. That's what
not to micromanage.
But you don't think Belichick did the same thing with the Patriots?
Not with the offense.
Really?
Nope. Yep.
I got a book right here. He knows more about offense than you think he does.
Well, he has to because he has to
Trust
prepare.
me, he does.
Yeah, he has to because he has to prepare against it. Right? There's a big difference of knowing the offense to defend against what you're going to come at me with, as opposed to.
You're talking about. We're not talking about the same thing. Think about it.
He knows offense. I don't think he meddled as much with his offensive coordinator.
Really? I got the book right here that says he did.
What's it say?
Next time the book's a big old thick book.
Don't make reference to stuff that you can't find.
What?
I can repeat books I read 20 years ago.
This is a brand new book.
So how can you tell me it's in the book?
It's in the book. Trust me, it's in the book, man. Read it cover to cover.
So then if read it cover to cover, give me the gist of where he got involved in the offense.
We ain't got that kind of time for all that.
That's because you can't remember.
Or this one here.
Remember.
There you go. Another one right there. There you go. He meddled in offense and defense. He had his hands in both.
I understand that, but I am telling you that you made the comment the other day one of our shows where I said, Belichick's tree is terrible and this and that, and that's because he doesn't care about whether those guys, or Andre even mentioned it, right? He doesn't care about how he's developing these players to be the next level coaches. He cares about them being great at their positions, right? So if that's true, then he's letting them do their positions or he gets rid of them, right? I am just telling you, to the degree of meddling in the offensive game plan, right, is totally not even, I guarantee you. I mean, Arians is the quarterback whisperer, so he's gonna have a comment way more than a defensive coach.
You just answer the question again.
Yeah, but he didn't whisper to Brady. Brady was a great coach. He didn't need to whisper. Brady came and did what he did. I mean, it wasn't like there ain't no whisper in there. The only thing he did that I liked is that he called everybody out, and it didn't matter. And Brady had to deal with it. I'm okay with that.
And he couldn't deal with that.
Yeah, he didn't like that either. He took him to a Super Bowl.
But he still didn't like what was going on.
I think he didn't like the only thing I heard is he didn't like about the game plan, right? And what they are saying is, he was, Brady's a lot more zoned in, focused as it comes to discipline and preparation for the game. And he doesn't like that horse playing around as much. But remember, to his defense, he was groomed for 20 years now. Right?
By who?
Belichick.
Okay. Defensive guy.
Right, but that was the organization was groomed that way, right? It's no different than being, the police divisions being more militant than the others, right? They're groomed that way, right? So anyways, I'm happy with today. I'm happy for Bulls. I'm happy for the Tampa Bay organization. I'm happy, particularly now. Let's see who are they going to hire. Who do you think they're going to hire as a defensive coordinator?
Probably keep that job since it's so late, or either promote somebody that's on the staff now.
Okay, well, it'd be nice if you promote another minority, right?
Forget the other flip plan that the NFL comes up with. How they always end up hiring offensive coaches, as far as with the minority thing and all, with the Rooney Rule, and that's how these guys get all these jobs, like usual. Where they change it now, where the you have to have a female or an African American or whatever minority on the offensive staff. Huh?
On the offensive staff.
On the offensive staff, at least one.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, okay, so one last time before we finish this up. All right, so you knew today was going to be, I even told the client of mine, shout out to one of my clients, that's Brady, went to Michigan. She also is a Harvard grad. Company's name is Nitrix, and she's a big Brady fan. So I told her today, you may want to tune in because I'm coming. We're going to be talking about the Brady situation and the Arians situation. Let's wrap this up with, did you hear about the new overtime rule in the playoffs?
Yeah, for the crybabies.
That's what everybody's saying. The deal, like Marcus Spears, I like him. He's like, I don't get it. How can you have 11 guys and let someone come all the way down the field in one possession and score? That's it. Game's over. So the new rules for our fans is only in the playoffs, because they wanted to see Allen get the ball. They didn't like that Mahomes lost with Brady getting the ball once. And, so Mahomes was the benefactor, and Mahomes was the non-benefactor of the overtime rules. What the new overtime rule is even before it was if you score 3 points, the other team gets a chance to come back and score either 3 points or a touchdown. And what the rule is now is that the first team to score a touchdown, right, doesn't win the game in the playoffs. The other team gets a chance to come back and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But you got to admit, there was a lot of playoff games that were all won by 3 points, right? But they're also won by 3 points. But I just think that I'm not a fan of that rule. I mean, obviously you want, what would happen if he got the ball back and this and that, but I think that takes a tax on the players, right? I mean,
stop them.
I know, but you got to stop after your team. You couldn't stop them. They should win. I don't like that rule. I don't like that rule. I think if you're able to score a touchdown on like 8 possessions. I mean, they can barely score a touchdown all game. You're able to score a touchdown in the last one possession.
Probably not.
What's that?
Probably not.
Well, the game's going to be longer, number one. And number two, I just want to see what you thought about that rule. So I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, can I say that this year's playoffs left you wanting more? Yes. But there was other things that were leading up to that game that those teams winning by 3 points shouldn't have been in those positions to win by 3 points, right? So that overtime, I don't like it. I think it was all because of, you said, the crybabies, right? The ones that said, I think it was because a lot of the games were very good and close in shootouts, but it was also, I think that the game that really turned the tilt was the Buffalo Kansas City game. Would you agree?
Yep. When
they were coming back and forth, just gunslinging. I mean, they were going shot for shot on that one, right?
KC put it to bed.
And KC could have put it back, saying good night, baby. So anyways, I don't like the rule. Do you like it? You don't like it? Which one is it?
I'm a defensive guy. My job is to stop him. If I can't stop him, then you deserve to lose.
Okay, good. So I'm a defensive guy. I guess this is probably the same thing. And Marcus Spears is a defensive guy. So maybe it's a defensive guy's mentality. But as a sports fan too, I mean, you can't stop the offense from scoring in critical moments, right? You deserve to lose.
Yes.
So the bottom line is because the offense, they can be going back and forth, scoring 40 points and 40 points and 40 points and 40 points, and you're not doing your job because everybody's scoring points. But when the time clock gets real short, you got to show up.
Yep.
Because if your team put up 40 points and you lose,
and that's on you.
That's on you. If you put up 40 points and you win, that was thankful for the offense. You won it in the last minutes. So anyways, but that's the new rule. I just heard it today and I was like, oh man, I knew they were going to change something. So we'll see what happens there. All right. Well, my report, everybody was in San Diego. Everybody knew I was going to be fired up for today's show.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm happy for the head coach. Well, I'm happy. Come on.
Just remember, the best thing about it, Tom Bowles is a New Jersey guy, Elizabeth High School. That's all that matters.
Oh, really? He went to Elizabeth. So he's close to you. That means he was around when we were playing.
Yeah, he was. And went to Temple.
What position he play?
Safety.
See, I like him even more, baby.
Yeah, okay. We'll see at the end of the season.
They're gonna light it up. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, they're gonna light it up. All right. Well, we're about to wrap up the show. I'm just trying to get my system up and running here to be able to give her a last piece. Eddie, thank God we haven't gone through too many deaths. So there was a period I think we had a show every week.
Every week it was getting bad.
It was, bro. I was depressed, man. It was terrible.
Shout out to Glenn Richardson, his birthday, 60th birthday.
Happy birthday, Glenn. Howard grad, great family. Happy birthday, Glenn Richardson. All-stater from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. So, all right. So let me go. And I got to scroll all the way down because that long text you sent me.
I didn't send you a long text. I sent emails.
I have to undo it. Yeah, I know, because you can't put it in the Google Drive. All right. So look, freedom, security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in time of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show the our gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. Gary Sinise Foundation. Please, it helps out our first responders, it helps out our military. Anything you can do can help us out there. A lot of craziness happening in the world. Remember, tune in next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m. for the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I also have my YouTube channel, Victor Rocho. I've been doing podcasts now several times a week. Overall on business, on an organization that I'm chapter president for the East Coast. So please go to YouTube, look up Victor Rocho, and subscribe there. You'll be able to get some other tidbits and some other things that I'm doing. Follow us. Please download, go to your iTunes store and go to podcast and look for the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Byron, as always, it was you do today. I can't believe you still have. I think you know how to. Why do you have two hats? One was for winter, and one was that.
I tell you, winter and summer, they're different styles.
So you threw the summer one away.
No, yeah, I did. Yeah, that was gone. This is the winter one.
You know, it's coming. Summer's coming pretty soon, so
yeah, I gotta get it. I get it.
All right, well, this is good. We got the draft coming up April 28th, and hopefully we'll be live from Il Toscano restaurant here in Pembroke Pines. Shout out to Il Toscano and Mario Nunez, who's the owner, and his family. Excellent Sicilian Italian restaurant. It's actually very, really good. You know, and when I say actually, it's good food.
Is Jersey good?
It's
Don't say nothing crazy. Say yes. It's better than Jersey. Say it.
I can't say. When you get to fine dining food, it's hard to like have too much of a comparison, right?
Okay.
What is easier to compare is like the pizza or the calzones or the that kind of stuff, right? But when it gets to fine dining, it gets a little harder. It's not a steak joint, but it's an Italian restaurant. They make great Italian food. I had there was really good. I haven't had anything I didn't like.
Okay,
but it's not like it's like fine dining, and then it's just hard. Fine dining is just either good or it's not good, right? I've been to. I like Morton's Steakhouse. I don't know if you like Morton's.
I hate Morton's Steakhouse, man. It's expensive. Woo, man. Woo, I spent a fortune in there.
Okay, so this says you hate them because they're expensive? You hate them because you don't like the food.
I did not like what they served. It was not very good.
And I can tell you this though, Morton's down here are excellent, but I've been to a Morton's in another state and it was terrible, right? So it's the same situation there. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but it's good. We took our son out for his birthday there, and it was expensive, but it was really, really good.
I'm retired, man. Retired, man. Come on.
Yeah, but for me, what I hate doing is just prior to that, it's like my family kept picking restaurants, and I was spending close to Morton's money, and I hated it. My wife kept telling me, wait, stop complaining about the money and I go, the thing is, I don't care about what the money is as long as I like the food, but don't make me spend money on food I don't like. Right? That's ridiculous. So that was the reason why I picked Morton's, because I knew it was guaranteed I was going to like the food. And sure enough, we did. So, all right, we'll tune in next Thursday and we'll go over there. And it looks like there's a good shot at I'm coming up in April to probably see you over there in Pennsylvania. So I'll give you a heads up before I come up.
I'll be around somewhere.
And we'll talk soon. But bye, CEO Arians. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.
Whatever, man.
Peace. God bless.
All right.